Today's devotion is we're still going through the book of Concord. We're still going through the Augsburg Confession, which is the first in the series of documents that makes up the book of Concord. And today we're in Article 15, which is concerning church rights or church regulations, depending on whether you're using the German or the Latin text. And the fundamental point of it is this. It is okay to celebrate church traditions, church festivals, church celebrations. Those are okay, but it's not okay to make them somehow necessary for you to earn your salvation. And we say that sounds kind of weird, maybe kind of ridiculous. And we got to remember that the authors of this book are coming out of a tradition, and they're trying to reform a tradition that takes the celebration of the saints very, very seriously. It takes church festivals very, very seriously. And they're responding to that, right? And to kind of bring that into, well, what do those look like and what do they look like today? We do still celebrate some of these church festivals, right? Like Christmas. Christmas is a high festival of the church here. Easter is another festival of the church here. Some other examples that a lot of churches celebrate, but a lot also don't. You have Epiphany, Pentecost. You do have the commemorations of various saints. So we have these celebrations, we have these traditions, and what this is saying is there's nothing wrong with them until you start saying, well, you have to do this to be saved. So kind of an example maybe of a tradition, and I'm sure you can think of, there's some traditions, every church has their own traditions, right? One that I've heard time and time again at Edgewater is there's a pretty consistent chili cook-off. Another one I've heard is worship under the stars. At other churches, maybe it's a potluck, maybe you do an Easter breakfast every year, maybe you really look forward to a youth Sunday, or you look forward to when confirmands have to get up in front of the church and kind of give their spiel, and you love that. Whatever those, every church has their traditions is my point. And what this is saying is those are okay. What's not okay is to make them more important than they are. And the ridiculous example I want to pull out is if we were to have a chili cook-off every single year, and you say, well, if you really want to be a Christian, if you really want to go to heaven, you have to go to the chili cook-off. And if you don't like chili, maybe you don't go to the chili cook-off. And as like, what it's saying is, like, it can't be the most important thing. Don't make an idol out of these traditions, I think is what is a good way to understand it. So how does this kind of hit the road for us is, whatever your traditions are at your church, whatever your favorite traditions are especially, like, you don't need to feel guilty about having traditions and about loving them. But make sure they don't become too important. And make sure you keep in mind why you're doing them. To kind of balance out, making sure they keep their proper place, because the purpose of them is to glorify God and to bring our faith in Him close to where it needs to be. And if they're no longer serving that purpose, then you do seriously have to ask, well, is this becoming a detriment? Is this something maybe we need to step away from? So what I see in this confession, if we're going to distill it down to what do we take away, is we're okay to engage in traditions, but we have to be careful with them to make sure they don't become more important than they should be. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. That is what it is there for. If you want updates as new videos come out, as we continue to walk through the confessions of the Evangelical Lutheran Church, go ahead and click the subscribe button, and you'll get little notifications from YouTube when we come out with new videos. And if you want to kind of validate me in my efforts with these a little bit, I wouldn't be opposed to you hitting the like button as well. So with that, brothers and sisters, go in peace. Serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.